Let us solve this question based on the principles of trigonometry. We are given two towers A, B and C, D. One of them is half the height of another, which means if C, D is x meters, then A, B will be 2x meters. These two towers are at a distance of A meters from each other, and there is a point in the middle, in the exact middle. So let that point be O. So if it is in the exact middle, then what do you have? AO is A by 2 and OC is also A by 2. Now there is somebody standing at this point and looking up at both these towers. When you look up, what do you get? You get the angle of elevation. When you look down, you get the angle of depression. Now there is something special about the angles of elevation. From this point, when he looks up at both the towers, when that person looks up at both the towers, the angle of elevation formed are complementary, or in other words, these two angles added give you 90 degrees, or in other words, they are complementary. What we have to do is find the length of the shorter tower, or in other words, CD. We have to find what is the height of CD. Now look at this triangle, the triangle ODC. Now the angle you know is theta. The sides that you know is these two, the opposite side and the adjacent side. Can you tell me which trigonometric function connects the opposite side and the adjacent side? It is tan theta, right? Tan theta is opposite side by adjacent side. You get a value for tan theta. Do the same thing over here. In OBA, the angle which we know is 90 minus theta. The sides which we know, how are they related? It is again opposite side by adjacent side, or in other words, we have enough information to find about tan 90 minus theta. We get that value also. Now look at both of these angles that you are dealing with. You are dealing with theta and a 90 minus theta, or in other words, you are dealing with two angles which when added give you 90. Then what is special about them? Their sine and cos values interchange, their tan and cot values get interchanged, and their sec and cosec values get interchanged. Now what do we mean by that? Now in case you have any problem understanding how this concept works, just take the example of 30 here. Just take theta is equal to 30, then 90 minus theta will be what? 60. So whenever you are dealing with this, if you have any trouble, just think about 30 and 60. How are their sine and cos values, tan and cot values? How are they related? Here I will take tan because we are dealing with tan and cot, so I will take tan and cot. We know that tan 30 is equal to cot 60 and cot 30 is equal to tan 60, or in other words, whenever you have a theta and you have a 90 minus theta, what happens is that the cot of one is equal to the tan of another, or in other words, it's not just tan and cot, sine and cos get interchanged, sec and cosec also get interchanged. We already know that, right? So we have found the tan value and the cot value for the angle theta. But tell me, how are tan and cot related? They are reciprocals of one another, which means multiplied they give 1. So substituting the values, what is the answer that you get? What we are looking for is the smaller tower, the height of the smaller tower. And how much do you think it is? and while taking the square root you will get a positive and a negative value, but we can ignore the negative value because we are talking about distances here. So we are taking only the positive value, and do not forget to put the unit. So how much is the length of our smaller towel? Its length is a by 2 root 2 meters. This is the answer that we are looking for. That is all for today. Till we meet again, you take care. Assalamu alaikum.